This is the GWM Tank 700, a plus-size genuine 4x4 with some genuinely compelling features. But don't get too excited yet, because this car isn't officially confirmed for Australia. But I want you to stick around, because I'm going to show you all the reasons I think this car would make a lot of sense for Australia and why I think it might be on the cards. Powering the Tank 700, you'll find a 3-litre V6 petrol engine coupled to GWM's High 4T plug-in hybrid powertrain. That results in 385 kilowatts and 800 newton meters, so it is a punchy unit. But the company has just revealed a twin-turbo V8 version, which we don't know where it's going to go yet, but if it went under the bonnet of this, it would basically move planets. I'm not the first person to say that this car looks similar to another well-known large angular four-wheel drive. Yes, the Mercedes G-Class. I don't think it's any mistake or accident. It is supposed to look like that. It is imposing, it's angular, and I think a lot of people will love the way this thing looks. I also want to draw your attention to these 3 cameras. That's 3 of many around the exterior of this car. It is packed full of technology on the inside and the outside, and in this amazing frosted metallic grey colour, I think it works beautifully. It is also huge. Look how, I mean, it's taller than me, and look at the ground clearance and the articulation in the wheel arches. The thing is massive in every way, including how much it weighs. 3.1 tons. If you thought some of the interiors in existing Tank and GWM products were a little bit out there, then you're going to love the Tank 700 interior, because it has been let completely off the leash. Starting with this gorgeous red wine leather interior everywhere, complemented with this nice machined aluminium finish. And there is technology and toys everywhere you look. Big digital driver's instrument cluster, huge central touchscreen. Even this little clock is actually virtual and digital, and you can change it from either 2 different clock faces to a start-stop button. Awesome. Massage, ventilated, heated seats, huge amount of storage with cooling everywhere, technology, comfort, style. This thing has got it all. This is not the first time we've driven the Tank 700. We actually were offered a spin in China at GWM Havel's private test track proving ground, but it was little more than a drive in a car park. But I haven't actually done any laps of the track so far in preparation. We've got so precious little time with these cars. I'm just having to do this on the fly. So, welcome to Dan's spontaneous review of the Tank 700 on the ride and handling. And actually, the first impression is there is no vehicle in the Tank range that more deserves the name. It is massive in both the way it feels sitting here in the driving seat and also the way it steers around some of these off-camber bends. There is quite a lot of body roll, so I think there's a bit of work to be done with Rob on the ride and handling. Steering as well is quite understeery, even at relatively low speeds, not pushing it at all. But the good thing is this has clearly been developed and tuned and refined to be comfortable. It is easily the quietest car I've driven on this ride and handling track today, and perhaps in a long time. Partly because we have a plug-in hybrid powertrain, and even when the engine is running, it is very quiet. We were sat just static a short while ago, and I was revving it to see if the engine was running, and you could only just hear it even with one of the doors open. So it's really quite refined, and the interior is sort of a nice balance of impressive and sensational, but also comfortable and somewhere you'd like to spend some time. Now, while GWM/Tank/Havel is now talking about introducing more powertrains under the umbrella brand of its High 4 all-wheel drive system, this one is one we don't get in Australia yet. This is pairing a V6 with that electric drivetrain, and it's a bit of a sleeping dragon. It's very, very smooth and quiet, but when you want it to wake up, God, it can get this thing to move. Once again, it is not, as I will now demonstrate, whoa, some kind of, whoa, I think it actually just lifted a wheel entirely off the ground. It's not a sports SUV, no. Any power and performance is solely intended for luxury and probably a bit of off-road work as well, because of course this is the High 4T hybrid powertrain with all-wheel drive, which is supposed to be at the more hardcore end of its off-road technology. There's a lot to like about this car. I can see how it would do very well in Australia for a number of reasons. One is we love a big SUV, and this one is about as big as they get. It's also got really aggressive styling. Australians tend to like that big SUV to look a little bit different, to stand out for the right reasons, and I think this one does. But the one thing it doesn't have is a diesel engine, and I wonder whether that would hobble its chances here a little. Oh, tell me you're in an imported version of Tank 700 without telling me you're in a Tank 700. Yes, this is very much one for the Chinese market, but we have to answer one question. Now, GWM hasn't quite confirmed that the Tank 700 will be coming to Australia, but I ask you this: why would they go to all the trouble of bringing this version all the way from China to a proving ground in Victoria if they weren't at least thinking really hard about it? So it's not officially confirmed for Australia just yet, but those are some reasons I think the Tank 700 has a very good chance of showing up in a showroom near you soon. If it is confirmed for Australia, how much of course is unknown, but to give you some idea, this car starts at about $100,000 in China and goes up to about $150,000 for the top of the range. Is that too much money to ask for a car wearing a Tank badge, or do you think it makes excellent value? Let us know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.